Here's a real man's product. Inconceivable.
What's up, guys? Hope you're all doing good. So we're back with some more George Carlin, and I've had about 50 requests from a guy called 428 Chase. So yeah, there's absolutely loads of them to get through. So I'm probably going to drop a Carlin a day or every other day, as well as other videos. So I'm going to try and get 2 uploads done a day. And we're filming in 4K 60 FPS now. So originally I was just doing it in 30 FPS, so I want to see how it comes out. I might revert back if it's not as good or whatever, but yeah, let me know what you think, if you prefer the video in this way and it looks better. But yeah, guys, only 14% of you are subscribed, so the other 86% of you, if you could please just drop down and hit that subscribe button before we get into it, that'd be absolutely great. But yeah, no more messing around. I don't like talking too much before it, so let's just jump straight into it.
That was terrific.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's nice. Like I say, it's smaller here, and you're able to, it feels like a little club.
It's a nice little room to work in, as they say in the trade.
Absolutely, right.
I haven't seen you actually in the flesh since, I don't know when.
Last time I would remember would be that TV Guide luncheon we talked about a minute ago.
That's right, that was really funny. The 3 of us appeared on a gruesome kind of event. It could be gruesome if they didn't work it right. They get 3 comics up, one after the other, on a dais of famous people.
About 40 really famous people,
Yeah, and when you're one of the 3 comics, you think that you're going to be the one to bomb.
2 out of 3, right, and you'll be number 1.
And they'll say, well, 2 of them made it, but...
It worked out okay.
We did all right. We did all right. I remember you started out at the very beginning of it, and you said something that got a very small laugh, and there was a gavel there, and you picked it up for order, even though there was not disorder. And this is very... I remember these little things.
I remembered, yeah, I did my news, sports, and weather.
That's right.
Which has been a mainstay.
Well, you were saying that there was something you might have done there if you'd had more time just then.
Oh, yeah,
Talk about something else that you didn't get to.
Birth control pills I kind of include in the drug scene because it's like, you know, you take them. And by the way, it's nice for the drug companies to let the gals in on the research, isn't it? Because that's, yes, they're going to find out whether they're safe by trying them on people. Buy them at the store. Maybe when everyone who's used them gets to be 63 and one leg gets shorter than the other, they'll, you know, they'll call them in. We better have a look at them. Anyway, it's that birth control pills are still on prescription. That's the premise. You need a note to do it. You know, that's really very strange. And you not only need a note, you have to go to one person to get the note, and then you have to bring it to another person. Everybody's really in on it. It's ladies must feel silly going, here's my note. Oh, that's what you're doing at home.
Yes.
And I just think that when birth control pills come off prescription, that they'll have catchy, cute names, such as the patent medicines have. Names to help you know what the product does. They'll need names like Pregnant. And Embryo. Here's one for the gals. Nary a carry. Nay, family way. Mom bomb. Here's a real man's product. Inconceivable. Brilliant. And I wouldn't be surprised if they come up with one called I Kid You Not, because that's... they're just, yeah, they're phrase makers, and they're good at that.
In an amusing little compact.
Oh, I'm sure they'll have Christmas cartons for them and special sales, and they'll be, well, they'll probably be at the cash register with the mints there. Take your change in birth control pills. Sure.
You've given a lot of thought to the problem.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel old-fashioned that when we must be about the same age?
I'm 34.
Yeah, well, then we are almost exactly the same age. When you were in school, was there such a thing as any talk of drugs? Had anybody heard of it?
Well, not in grammar school. There was the word. There was the word dope, which we used to play around. I lived near Columbia University. I lived in between Columbia University and Harlem in a kind of a section called Morningside Heights, where there was an Irish neighborhood which was not being Irish much anymore. You know, it was going away.
Yeah.
And I was like, they built projects and they put Columbia kept expanding, you know, kicking people out, and because of that fact, we used to play in where Columbia's Pupin laboratories would throw out all their garbage. It was a great place to play because there was all this chemical stuff and laboratory equipment and stuff they didn't want, and our mothers always told us, don't ever take anything that's there because they'll be dope, and we just knew that word dope.
Dope, yeah.
That's all I grew up with. But then in high school, even in the 50s, in the early 50s, in 52, I got into grass at 14. It was partly because of the neighborhood.
14?
Yeah. I mean, that was the first time I had any. I didn't really keep any around then.
Yeah.
But,
well, how did it come about?
One of the guys first in school, one of the guys in high school, first year or second year, got into it a little and then came back to the neighborhood, and then we discovered it was also in our neighborhood, which we hadn't noticed. And we began to, dabble, fool around, use a little on the weekends, you know. And most of the guys who tried it stopped, you know, for various reasons later. Some guys kept some. Out of 30 guys in the neighborhood, there's probably only 3 that still bother with grass at all. It depends on your lifestyle, I think.
Yeah, that's interesting. I did a show on this the other night, and
I know.
one of the
I
men
didn't
from the
see it, but I've heard a lot of
commission
it.
was here, and the enormous number of people who just lost interest in it. Just
Sure.
lose interest in it.
Because
People-
it is, you know, just like what it is. There's nothing, well, there are arguments you can make about it.
Yeah,
And
and
it's
apparently,
fair.
and it is very bad for certain people. They established that, but not apparently not for most. But there are a few
Right.
people who.
I found a lot of people who've used it as a tool. I mean, if there's a way to use it and just get high and just go out and, I mean, you know, just like lie back and
This is
listen
really
to things,
interesting,
maybe, and just goof centrally. But there's other ways to get high and do something. You get high and clean the closet. You get high and make a list of what you have to do next week. I mean, there's ways to use it to get yourself together. A lot of people would attest to that.
I don't know anybody who claims they can do any good work from it, though. I mean, any writer who claims that he can really write with
No,
it, or anybody.
I don't think you could write on it, but I think that if you were a writer, that getting high on it from time to time could have an effect on your writing, a positive effect on your writing. I think you can think of things under it which you might employ that you wouldn't otherwise.
But to actually do disciplined work, I don't know if anybody can actually do
Depends
that.
on
do
the
that.
discipline.
Discipline work perfectly fine.
Yeah.
What about that guy on that moon mission who saved the moon mission? Remember the long-haired guy at the laboratory around Boston? They had a thing where the abort switch, and they had to bypass the abort switch and write a new program.
Yeah.
And he
Well,
wrote it
can
like
you
in
imagine?
2 or 3 hours, and they saved the moon mission. And then the guy was interviewed later, and he says, "Oh yeah, a lot of people here do a little dope. Sure, no, yeah, I've written some pretty far-out programs on it and everything. You know."
That's right. There was. I think they tried to cover him up quickly
Right.
after that.
The point is, nothing is, you know, great all by itself, but used properly, I think there's some positive advantages to marijuana.
Yep.
The
100%.
what was the thing that he talked about the other night? Treatment of glaucoma. They think there's some research to be done in that. That's important. Well, wait a minute. We have to take a station break, and then we'll be right back.
Guys, I think that's the end of the clip. I'm just going to... No, that's the end of the clip. Guys, well, that took a different turn towards the end. I wasn't expecting that to go from birth control pills onto marijuana. So I really enjoyed that. That was, like I say, George Carlin stuff's different. It's not just like stand-up, or it's not always necessarily hilarious. But if it's not funny, it's interesting. And if it's not as interesting, it's hilarious. So, yeah, I really like it. I really like his stuff. It's absolutely brilliant. So, guys... I've got a load of George Carlin suggestions, but please get me some more down as well, because I had a look through a lot of the ones that that I've got, and they're not all video clips. They're like on when it's on a radio, or there's, so if any full clips, I'll get those done first and prioritise the better clips, and then I'll go on to stuff like the radio clips and stuff like that. But yeah, I plan on getting everything done. So if you enjoyed the video, drop me a like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace!